Hi, my name is Giuliano, and this is my film treatment for my opening scene. I decided to name it Unknowable. It featured a twisting tale of friends to enemies. As the mystery drips down the screen into the audience, I tried to make it quite film. I tried to make it quite professional. Screen is the audience perspective, following this horror thriller, mostly a thriller, as a seething truth reveals itself through fear, emotions, envy, and envy. There's quite a lot of emotions in this. So, Unknowable, with the title Unknowable, I thought it was mysterious. It was almost too mysterious. I had quite a catchy line, Unknowable. I wanted to make it quite mysterious because in my opening scene, it would be very strange, very mysterious. Like, the audience doesn't exactly, they want to know what's going on, but they can't quite get a grip of it. I don't really have a list of options with Unknowable. I just kind of thought of it straight away, so that was quite useful. And by using this title, it hints the audience traces of a bad ending, as unknowable means impossible, so nothing good can come from it. So it kind of foreshadows the ending of my opening scene. I think inspiration is from films such as Smile and The Conjuring, so equally scary, and convey an interesting story to drag the audience in at the same time as scaring the day that's happening. This is a title I made for it, So, my idea for the story, there'll be two people, only two actors, probably both males, and it'll be based on a dark house, all alone, so it's just them two. The main idea is that one person is a secret serial killer, and it leaves the house early on to answer the door after a knock. Weird sounds start playing, and the person who is left in the room, hears someone enter the house with a screeching, knife-like sound, so it's quite non-diegetic sounds. The person left over tries to find his lost friend and maneuvers around some hallways, some low shots, some quite close shots, and go over his shoulder. He finds the killer, who's now wearing a mask, so we don't know who it is, and the friend is nowhere to be seen. So conflict will take place, such as maybe chasing into the garden. This is filmed in my house. The last scene will be the killer over the person and pulls off the mask. We don't actually see the person's mask, it's in the extreme close-up. It's a high shot looking over the person, so it kind of conveys the power that person has over him. He pulls off the mask, we don't see this, and then the music is timed, so it ends, and you can see the fear in his voice, in his face. No, we don't need to. No, we don't need to. It's just kind of there. My production companies and institutions, like Netflix, ImageNation, and Dabby, and Geo Creates, something I made a logo for it as well. To expect the unexpected, it's like mystery. Yeah. Locations, my house, primarily my room where the two characters will be sitting until the door is knocked on. I have various spotlight lights in my kitchen. I've not been able to get any photos of it, so I'll be using some interesting shots of the light. These are some kind of examples, like a room where there'll be, and this is a cut from Smile. It's the dark house. I don't think I'll do it at night exactly, but maybe as it's turned into night, so we get that feeling that it's gone from light to dark. Technology, use my phone, it's quite convenient, it's got a good camera, don't really need anything else. We have some small mics attached to two people, so there will be some dialogue. And I'll use DaVinci to edit. I have an idea, because DaVinci, there's a lot of features, so I'd like to make it look quite old, with some static, so it kind of looks like, it just looks old, and it makes it quite scary with the static effect. The genre conventions, kind of taken inspiration from a few horror movies, Scream, Smile and The Conjuring, with thriller and horror kind of. I wanted to create my short opening quite similar to these, so I'm using shots similar to this cut I took from The Conjuring. It's like kind of they're sitting on the bed quite close up, and then the one will leave. And there's another quite close up where it's worrisome, it's quite low down, so you can see that they're quite scared. Being set in a house will represent other horror movies where a house is usually the main location, taking inspiration from the other movies that I've seen, Smile, Conjuring. the two characters will they'll just represent two normal people. It's like, it's not obvious off the start that they are not what they seem. And it shows that everyone has their own secrets. It represents all people in modern society, just normal, pretty much, but then with secrets. Our target audience is kind of between 15 to 25. I feel like anything below that is quite unprofessional. But it's a thriller horror, so you wouldn't really put anything below 15. And that is kind of where the attention span is shorter, so I'll use quick paced editing to retain attention throughout the video. My costumes will say to the audience regular people. We won't say on the actual thing, but it will kind of tell them that they're just regular people. And then the killer's costume will spit danger right at the audience's face. It'll be dark, and the dark that the killer's wearing will be contrasted to the light that the regular person will have. So it's like the darkness of the killer compared to the light of the other person. I don't plan on using too many props, maybe a weapon for the killer to create tension, and make the other person's life to be in danger, so it creates that suspenseful moment when you see the knife, you hear the knife, the non-diegetic sounds. The setting will just be a normal house, further conveying the idea of secrecy being behind normality. So it's like, even though they're represented as the normal people, there is still that person who is a serial killer. A lot of non-diegetic sounds make the sounds more suspenseful, kind of make them a bit more artificial, a bit more like they're being made by something to make it seem more thrilling for the audience. Fast-paced editing, I feel like will play a very big part in this. I like the editing to go from quite slow at the start to a lot quicker at the end. So it goes from the slow kind of everything's okay to the not everything is okay and there's someone trying to kill someone. There will be no sound at the start, things get more strange, a slow build up of mysterious tension building will start. The music will start to build up. I like to create that, like the feel of suspense building up. And at the end, that song I mentioned at the start will play, and I'll edit it so it kind of matches, and that's quite a big part of it. Any questions? Yes, Joe.
What sort of camera angles are you going to try and use?
A lot of low and high camera angles, a lot of close-up camera angles. I like to kind of portray the power levels throughout the camera angles. So a lot of high through the killer's perspective. I like to use a dirty shot, going through the window when the person's left in the room. So I've got a window and kind of like heavy breathing through the shot, quite dirty, quite very POV. Yes, check.
What costumes do you use for each character?
I briefly did mention this, but the regular person, the person who's not the serial killer, you just have normal clothes, like light clothes, like t-shirt, jeans, very light, and the killer who originally be wearing light clothes as well. But as you see him as the killer, it goes dark, probably like a dark cloak or something and a mask. Yeah.